medicine and lifestyle interventions for autoimmune diseases. After being diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 2000 and experiencing rapid decline, Dr. Wahls developed a groundbreaking protocol focusing on nutrition and lifestyle changes to manage the condition. She's the author of several best-selling books, including the Wahls Protocol, and her TEDx talk, Minding Your Mitochondria, has generated millions of views worldwide. Dr. Wahls serves as a source of inspiration for many, including myself, and I'm incredibly grateful for her willingness to spend an hour of her busy schedule with us. Welcome, Dr. Wahls.
Hey, thank you for having me. I'm going to ask for people who are here, why don't you put in the chat if you've been involved in any clinical research trials. Either these might be observational trials, or they might be an intervention trial, and it might be, oh, wonderful that you're in one of our trials. So we have intervention trials, we've done observational trials, and for us to move everything forward, it is very, very helpful to have both kinds of trials. The observational trials are simply usually capturing, using survey data, what you did in the past, what you are doing currently, to get some clues as to what are the factors that lead to the diagnosis of MS. What are the factors that can lead to a more severe diagnosis and a more severe disease course?
Essa médica, esta médica.
Then the observational trials can lead to some ideas about what might be useful for people with MS. And that's where an intervention trial can then test that idea that a particular intervention might be helpful. Early on, intervention trials were used as people began developing the first drugs that had a little bit of benefit, and now more potent drugs. Intervention trials are being used to figure out what foods might be helpful, what supplements might be helpful, what type of exercises, stress management programs might be helpful. And so for those of you who would be willing to be in an observational study, and that's generally a lot easier than being an intervention, we will, and we do have opportunities to register for a patient registry, so we could let you know when we have our next round of observational survey-based only studies.
Is there a link where people can register?
Yeah, so if you go to terrywahls.com/MS study, the first thing you do is give us your name, some contact information, and answer the question that you'd be willing to be on our patient registry. And that just means that you're in the database, so we can notify you when we have a study that's open, so you could let us know if you'd like to learn more about that study and potentially be involved in that study. And some of those studies, future studies, are, again, observational only studies, so survey-based. Some are intervention studies where we're going to be testing some intervention, be it a diet, an exercise, or some other type of intervention. So you can get that at terrywahls.com/MS study. So the first question you get asked is, would you be willing to be in our patient registry? Then we take you through a series of questions asking about whether or not you'd be willing to be in a diet-related study that is comparing a Paleolithic diet, ketogenic diet to usual diet, and to be followed for 2 years. You would have to come to Iowa City, Iowa at month 0, month 3, and month 24. And we have people from Canada, the United States, and Mexico can come to that study. You have to be between the ages of 18 and of 70 and have relapsing remitting multiple sclerosis. Now, if you're in our patient database, we take people with clinically isolated syndrome, and all of the types of MS, progressive forms of MS and relapse-remitting forms of MS.
That's very, very useful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for doing all this. It's
Yes. I mean,
incredible.
and this, and research is as in general a slow process. So the study we're doing now, the study, we will finish our enrollment sometime this summer. I'm not quite sure how soon it will be, but we'll certainly get to our target enrollment this summer. Because it's a 2-year intervention, that means it'll be in 2026 that we will have people in for their last study visit. We'll have all that data. We'll be cleaning the data and then doing a data analysis at the end of 2026, presenting our study findings at the scientific meetings in 2027, and drafting our manuscript. So it would probably be coming out likely in 2028. Then we have some shorter studies where we do a survey-only based study. That generally comes out, you do the survey window might be open for 2 or 3 months. Then we analyze that data. We'll be presenting some of those survey-only based studies this spring at the Consortium of MS Centers in Nashville, Tennessee. And when those presentations are complete, then we'll submit our manuscripts for publication. And hopefully those publications will come out in 2027.